everybody, and welcome to HireMilitary's Hot Jobs. Thank you for joining us. Every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, folks here at HireMilitary, we get together and we share some SkillBridge internships and some direct hire opportunities for veterans and military spouses. Those either join us for the very first time, thank you for joining us. I'm glad you found us here. Anyone returning, welcome back. You'll notice something a little bit different this time. It's a very special opportunity because you get myself and Before, who actually is one of our current SkillBridge interns, and I was a former DoD SkillBridge intern with HireMilitary. So it's just a unique opportunity for the two of us to get together and share some very unique opportunities with everybody, answer any questions you may have. You know, we spend this time every week, about 30 minutes, being able to chat with everybody about some opportunities we have, answer any questions, and it's for everyone involved in the military community, the transitioning service members, the veterans, the military spouses. You know, it doesn't matter. We're here to help everyone out there. So if you have any questions or anything in the comments, please feel free to put them in there, and we'll be happy to answer them once we get done. Do a quick introduction. You know, whether you're looking for a SkillBridge or direct hire, put everything in the comments. You know, if you see a role you're interested in, put the actual job you're looking for in the comments. You know, we have a ton of companies that we're sourcing for. There's a ton of opportunities. We have over 100 jobs right now and over 150 DoD SkillBridge internships available. So we have more on our website. You can go to HireMilitary.us and navigate to either the SkillBridge side or the job opening side, and you'll be able to see what we have available. My name is Matt. I'm one of the recruiters here at HireMilitary. I'm in Johnson City, Tennessee. I spent about 17 years in the Marine Corps. You know, I was in the infantry for pretty much the entire time, did a few instructor billets, and started going through the med board process. And I was very fortunate enough to land this internship with HireMilitary, and even more fortunate to get hired on at the end of it. So much like where Before's at right now, he is one of our interns, but I'll go ahead and turn it over to him to do an introduction for himself.
All right. Hey, thanks, Matt. I want to say hello to everybody out there. And if go ahead and put your location. Some of you guys are already doing it already. Put your location where you're at right now as you're chiming in. Aloha from sunny Honolulu. I wish I was there. My name is Before Agby. Like Matt was saying, I'm a 20-year service member at Army. A combat medic, currently out here in JBLM, Washington, the old Fort Lewis for anybody that's been in for a while. But I've been doing this for about 3 months, just shy of 3 months, and I couldn't be happier. I use HireMilitary to help me transition and do my internships. They help me with my targeting my resume. They help me do some interview preparation. And ultimately, I turned down a considerable amount of opportunities that were lucrative to take this job as well. So I love it. I love doing these events. It's the highlight of my week. And I also love doing phone screenings and interacting with the transition service members, because I have sat in your seat, and I understand how it is to transition, how overwhelming it could be with the resources while you're trying to get household goods delivered on the same thing with a start date pending, you know. So I'm glad to be here. Again, I'm your SkillBridge intern recruiter for HireMilitary, and that's my introduction, Matt.
All right, thanks, Buff. All right, and again, as we share roles, if you're interested, please, again, put the comments, you know, the specific job that you hear, and again, please visit the website, HireMilitary.us. Please make sure you put the US at the end of it. You know, we talk about a lot of different things, and if you do want to apply, make sure you target resumes for the position. You know, we can talk about resumes more at the end if anybody has any questions about that, but please make sure you're tailoring those as you apply for these positions. And you can always reach out to us. You know, if you're in a specific area and you don't see something on our website, we're legitimately adding new jobs every week. You know, and also if we see a trend in the comments, because we go through all these at the end. If we see a trend of, hey, I'm in this location looking for this type of job, we can go to our business development folks like, hey, can we try to find more in this general area? Because that's where a lot of the veterans or military spouses are looking for employment. So please put all those in the comments. Give us as much information as possible so we can help you. The very first thing that we're going to talk about is the SkillBridge internship. So Buff, I'll go ahead and hand it back over to you, and then you can kind of give a rundown of what the SkillBridge internship program is, and then share some roles that you have for us.
Fantastic. Thanks, Matt. Again, I have 5 roles I'm excited to share you. I said 5. Is that 10? I don't know. I'm just a medic, not good at math, public. But I have 5 roles I'm going to share with you guys. But for those that don't know or new to the programs, I'm going to talk really briefly about Skill Bridge. At HireMilitary, we provide program internship opportunities to eligible transitioning service members, usually within their last, not usually, it's always within the last 180 days of service, either ETS or EAS. Are typically a length of time that our internships lasted between 90 to 100 days. And our CEO, Michael Quinn, has a great statistic that shows that we have about a 98%, sorry, correct me if I'm wrong, Matt, it's a 97% success rate for people being hired on afterwards.
That was one of the last ones we saw, but I mean, as we keep going, the only ones that really haven't gotten the job is because they just didn't take it. They took another one. I think all of our people that we work with, their goal is to hire people on the end, that high probability of employment. So everybody's looking to bring you on at the end of it.
Absolutely. All right, let me get into the first role I have. The first role I have is a data visualization and reporting analyst. It's with a company called Blackspoke. Our client is a consulting firm located in the Washington, D.C. Metro area. They specialize in IT consulting for the federal government. They're looking for a data analyst with a top secret clearance that can translate HR data, basically. They're looking for somebody with experience with graphic design, visual analytics, creating dashboards and charts with Power BI or Tableau. A plus for this position is coding with Python and R. It's just a letter R. If you have those two coding specializations, those are a plus for this position. Again, data visualization reporting analyst with a company called Blackspoke out of the DC area. There's also a slight opportunity to go to St. Louis metro area based on your experience and your credentials for that position. If you're interested in that position, go ahead and drop it in the comments. My second role that I'm interested in sharing is the project analyst role. It's with a company called American Microgrid Solutions. This is a remote role, fully remote, highly sought after. Our client is a renewable power industry developer that focuses on giving client solutions to hybrid power and renewable energy concepts. I met the owner and the CEO, CEO and COO, and they're extremely passionate about their projects and their job and what they do for the world. The ideal candidate for this position is a Navy nuke. For anybody that this resides with, go ahead and drop you're the client we're looking for. You're the candidate we're looking for. This position's for you. They're looking for a strong interest in renewable and distributed generation with experience in the biggest experience part of the technical side is the electrical systems. They dabble in a little bit of financial analysis and have a little bit of experience with some design tools as well. Again, this is project analyst with American Microgrid Solutions, and it's a fully remote role. My third role that I love to share is the sales engineer. This one is very kind of a little bit of niche because it's required to have a top secret clearance with a polygraph. The company is called Splunk, and it is a fully remote opportunity as well. The sales engineer is the technical member of the customer account team. Their motto for this role, and I just learned this today. Their motto is "We tinker with the tech, and we translate it for the business ear." Essentially, you get to play with all the Splunk toys and software programs, and then translate it to the business and the customer base. And you work with the customer account team. So it sounds extremely fun. What they're looking for is somebody with 3 or 5 years of full-time work experience in any tech industry. Again, the disclaimer on this one, you must have top secret clearance with a poly. All right, my fourth opportunity. You guys might have heard of this company before. The position is called a sales development intern. The company is called Momentive, but they're formerly known as SurveyMonkey. All right, they have blows all over the nation: Texas, Oregon, New Jersey, New York, Massachusetts, Indiana, Illinois, Florida, and Georgia. We just filled a role in Virginia, so that one's off the table. But our client has more than 2 million active users that rely on insight ranging from employee, customer, project experiences. If you ever done any kind of survey, usually it's related with SurveyMonkey or Momentive now. What they're looking for in that role, you can expect to work with the Momentum account executives. They conduct different consultations to develop leads and generate prospective solutions for your customers. So again, that's a sales development intern with Momentum, and it's in 7 different states. So if you're interested, go ahead and drop a link in the comments. And my last and certainly not least role that I have for the SkillBridge internships is a solutions intern. It's with a company called Faith Systems and Software. They're located in Fort Worth, Pennsylvania. Anybody know where that's at? Matt, you know where that's at? I'll give you a hint. It's just north of Philly. Okay, for all the Philly fans out there. Our client is a software firm with products that focus on low-code process modernization. The interns work in concert with the engineering staff and support departments to assist in creating and testing customer solutions. The ideal candidate has working knowledge of coding, scripting, and software development. Again, this one is not remote. This one is in Fort Washington, Pennsylvania, a solutions intern with Faith Systems. If you're interested in that role or possibility for SkillBridge internship, let us know. Drop it in the comments. That is it. Those are all 5 positions I have, Matt. On to you.
All right. Thanks, Buff. Again, so if you're interested in any of those positions, those are the SkillBridge internships. You can go to HireMilitary.us and apply directly on there. You can put something in the comments. Let us know you're interested in that one specifically. But the easiest thing to do, go to the HireMilitary.us, navigate over to the SkillBridge side, because that's where those ones are going to be, and go ahead and apply on there. I did see something in the comments about cohorts and, the dates not lining up. One of the beautiful things about what we do is really none of them are cohort based. This is on your availability. As long as the company is willing to match up with your availability, it can be the whole 6 months. It can be 2 months. It can be 3 months. Whatever your availability is, we're not cohort based. So that's the flexibility that you have through HireMilitary.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. And to share a piece of my story with that is out of my last 180 days, I'm only doing 120 days. So 4 months. And my last part of my 180 days is terminal leave and permissive TDY. So it's fantastic. I'll be able to negotiate that. And each company is different, but you can navigate that and negotiate that with your host company.
Absolutely. And also, if you have questions about it, reach out to any of us, because this is what we do. We can have that conversation with the employers and discuss timelines and work those things out with them on your behalf, and just really help you through the process. We're there from right now all the way until the end of your internship. Like once you get hired, we're here for you the entire process. So yeah, thank you, Buff. I appreciate it. So some of the things I'm going to talk about are the direct hire roles. Again, these are specifically for veterans and military spouses. So if any of these apply to you, you can feel free to drop it in the chat or go to HireMilitary.us. Go ahead and apply through there. If you're not already registered, please go on there. You can create a profile. You can put in the states that you're interested in, upload your resume, the general industry you're interested in, and you can apply through there. But the first one I'm going to talk about is an executive assistant. This is a part-time role. It is remote. It's located generally in the DC area is the preferred area that they want you to be in, but again, it's remote. And this is probably an excellent opportunity for a military spouse. It's a nonprofit. They have a vision of supporting access to appropriate special education programs, and is a vital component to continuum based out of Washington, DC. Again, this is part-time. There's occasional meetings required in the DC area. So again, you really do need to be located in that area because there's going to be some travel required. The executive assistant, you'll be responsible for performing a variety of administrative functions, office of clerical functions to support the executive director and the CEO. The next one I have is a business analyst. You're going to act as a liaison between business owners and solution owners. You'll gather, analyze documents, communicate, validate customers and system requirements and business methodologies. This one is basically the company is responsible for enabling medical process and procedures to be easier for patients. You have knowledge of payment integrity solutions, especially the hospital billing, claims editing, reimbursements, billing practices, things like that. So having a knowledge of those policies, state and federal regulations is going to be a huge plus. They do want somebody with 3 years of experience with business analysis, business process engineering in the healthcare industry. So somebody with that healthcare background, you have the ability to work remote, which is amazing. please feel free to go ahead and drop in the comments or go to our website and apply. The third one I have, also remote, is with a global leader in cybersecurity. So, it is remote, but they do prefer somebody in the Washington, D.C. region, San Antonio, Massachusetts, Colorado, just a major U.S. hub. They want somebody 10 years successful solution sales experience, selling software, security, infrastructure products, specifically within the federal government and the DoD community. So that's going to be a huge one for this. Experience understanding and working with federal government procurement processes and regulations is a must-have. An active DoD clearance or able to obtain a government clearance is required. And the next one is, there's actually two different positions, but they're both located in Santa Clara, California, of a mechanical designer and a mechanical engineer. They're two very different positions. However, they're in the same area, same company. So I want to be able to share them together. They're responsible for developing next generation particle accelerators. They're based systems treating cancer, design, building complex systems. Required for both of them is experience with SolidWorks. For the mechanical designer, really only need to have a high school diploma. And the experience is what counts. For the mechanical engineer, the absolute minimum is a bachelor's degree. But having that significant experience in designing and making drawings for manufacturing is huge. So if you have like the mechanical designer or engineer background with the education for each one, feel free to apply again on our website. It'll say mechanical designer, mechanical engineer. Look for the ones that say Santa Clara, and you can see the very specifics for each one. And then the final one I have is an account executive in the Miami metro area. I see a ton of people that want to get out of the military and move to Florida. And, it's a beautiful area. They're looking for somebody to qualify prospects through cold calling and emailing. So I think that it could be like a sales thing, but it's more like the business development realm. So they're a specialty distributor committed to providing hospital and infusion pharmacies with the pharmaceuticals in that general area. Successfully converting these cold calls and emails into long-term business relationships. So you're responsible for taking, potential clients and bringing them in and developing the relationships. It's very important to have those communication skills. You're able to, build and maintain relationships. That's what a lot of people coming out of the military are very good at. If that's something you're interested in, let us know. And the cool thing is after 90 days, there's uncapped commission pay starting for this one. So, as you stay within the company, there's a lot of opportunities for bonuses and just growth within the organization. And those are all the jobs that we have. Again, we have over 100 jobs openings right now on our website and over 150 SkillBridge internships available. One of the things that, Buff, I'll take your opinion on this too, is something that, my transitioning kind of happened quickly. It's like medical board, you're bye. And I didn't have the time to prepare. I had 9 months from start to finish. I generally tell people 12 to 18 months, you want to start preparing and networking and building resumes. Do you have any guidance or opinions on that can kind of help people out?
Absolutely. I mean, there's so much, but reality is everybody's timeline is different. It's very unique. Everybody's interests are different. Are you going to stay located where you're at, or are you going to have to do a final move? Are you coming in from Oconus, right? Are you coming in from Oconus and you're coming back stateside? So those timelines are very is very different. But the earlier you network and make meaningful connections with organizations and people in the organizations, the better off you're going to be. I've a lot of the TAP installations, the transition installations. They have so many resources from troops to transportation to people in tech that people kind of just get overwhelmed and they back off and they just wait till the last minute and they just get out, and then they realize a year later that they had so many opportunities that kind of let slide through them. So don't do that. And so getting out and networking, using LinkedIn, leveraging LinkedIn is huge. I started 2 years ago. I was in DC area. I was a first sergeant, and somebody told me to get the USO Pathways Pathfinder transition program, and I did. I did a couple LinkedIn lives, USO live events, Mastering LinkedIn with Michael Quinn. And I just started building my headline. I I started putting a picture in. I started doing small things. So it wasn't overwhelming. I started putting my evaluation bullets underneath my thing and started building my big general resume 2 years ago. And ultimately led me working with you guys. Could I predict that? Absolutely not. But I was prepared to pivot. I was prepared to pivot in IT. I was prepared to pivot in HR. I was prepared to pivot into talent acquisition and learning those industries and what those industries are. Building into that, you're right, is the informational interviews. If we all know a guy, know a girl in a certain industry, and having 10 or 15 minutes of their time to say, hey, I want to be a project management, or I want to be a program manager, but what one does in a day in the life is sit down with asking for informational interview to finding out if that's a fit for you. And me personally, I went and got my PMP and my Lean Six Sigma black belt, and ultimately I found out those are not my passions. I'm good at it. It's a big industry need. It's very marketable. There's stackable certifications, very lucrative. But at the end of the day, it's a personal choice that I didn't want to continue on. The doors are still open. But however, I found I didn't want to do that. So it was a choice. So it's individual programs, starting early, networking often, and kind of finding the industry. It helps you target your industry.
Yeah, thank you. And that PMP thing, I started mine too. And, I realized, yeah, it's good to have that, but what industry do you want to get into? Because just because you have the project management certification, you have all these other things doesn't necessarily mean it's applicable to, I can't get into construction. I don't know anything about construction, even if I have a PMP. So it depends on what you want to get into. And I had a conversation with somebody, and after talking to him, is like, I don't think this is for me. And it's not something I really wanted to do anymore. So it just depends on what you want to do, what you want to get into.
Absolutely.
I saw a question about doing things overseas. For none of the things we have right now are overseas, especially for the SkillBridge side. Those are all going to be within the continental United States. One of the questions I also saw was SkillBridge on a med board. I did it. I could sit here and talk for 10, 15 minutes about this, but wave tops, yes, you can. You still have to be able to do your medical appointments. Your command needs to be able to prove it. You should probably talk to the Pueblo and make sure that you're, able to. They're not the decider, but it's still good to have that, support. You have your VA appointments you have to be able to do. You have to do out processing. There's a lot of different things. So finding a remote one would probably be ideal. That was what I was able to get a remote when I was still able to do my appointments. I was still able to do my retirement, do all this out processing. There's a lot of different things that go into it, but you need to have that conversation with your command. 100%. That's anyone. If you're a year out, talk to your command and let them know your intentions of doing a skill bridge, because that'll kind of help make or break whether you're able to get into one or not. And you'll know your timeline going into it. That's just my 2 cents, my advice on that from experience trying to get into it. Luckily, I had a good command that was supportive.
But likewise, I'm glad you said that, Matt. Supportive commands. It's been only a couple candidates that had to pull out of their SkillBridge internships because their commands didn't support them. My command was overwhelmingly supportive, but I was also transparent when I arrived. I came there. I said, I'm targeting I don't know what company I'm going to be signing up with, but I want to sign up with a SkillBridge program, and I want to transition out at 180 days. And they're like, we never heard of it. I found myself educating them because there's more soldiers behind me that were doing it as well. And I got full command support, and I kind of opened the door for a few other service members to do it.
Yeah, that's very common. I saw comments, some commands aren't supportive. Unfortunately, that's how it is. But it's also good to have the conversation and don't give up. You can still continue trying to, voice your concerns the best you can while being tactful with your command. And, that we can still help, you're 6 months out from your transition. We can still say, hey, they might be able to turn this into an actual direct hire opportunity, or we may have other opportunities for you. Still reach out to us, have that conversation, because we might have something else for you.
Absolutely.
So this is the networking thing, like you're talking about, is what's going to pay off.
Absolutely.
I think we're kind of running out of time here, but thank you again for everyone for joining us. Again, we'll be back here next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Again, if you want to apply for something, HireMilitary.us, go to the website, apply through there. Feel free to connect with any of us on LinkedIn. And again, hopefully we'll see you all next week, and thank you for joining us.
Bye.